I'm not as sophisticated as she is.
Right. Got a couple of callers on the line, Mike. First of all, Susan from Norfolk. Hi, Susan.
Hello there. I was
Hey,
listening to the programme from the beginning and making some notes.
Okay, great.
I'd just like to ask, do the Mormons have a Bible or use the Bible, a Christian Bible? And what are the main things for Christians to look out for? What are the key differences, the things that we should hone in on, please?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, the Mormons use the King James Bible. They always have done. And although you will hear stories about a Joseph Smith translation, they don't actually use that. They use the King James Bible, and alongside that they put the Book of Mormon and other works that they consider to be scripture. So if you have a King James Bible and that's what you're using, they'll be perfectly comfortable with that. If you have other good translations like a New American Standard or an NIV, they know about those. They use them occasionally, but they're not the official Bible of the church. So you can still use those. But the King James Bible is what they use. You'll find that Mormons are different on God, Jesus, salvation, man, sin, all the fundamentals. So you need to talk really about the gospel. And that's what you need to talk about.
But I think also, which maybe Susan has heard, they, beyond the Bible, they use their own book, don't they, which I'm sure we'll talk about a bit more in a moment, the Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
They call it sort of the Bible Revisited or Back to the Bible or another testament or something. I mean, what is that? Yeah.
The Book of Mormon, another testament of Jesus Christ.
Right.
The Book of Mormon is the book that started the whole religion. It's Joseph Smith said that he'd seen a vision and an angel had told him where some gold plates were hidden, and he eventually had these plates. And he said that he translated them, and the Book of Mormon is the result. And it's supposed to be a record of God's dealings with people in the Americas. And it's another testament of Jesus Christ, it says under there. That's not in the original title. That's only been there since the 1980s. But that's really the book that they use. But what you will find is that a great deal of Mormonism is not in the Book of Mormon. It's quite peculiar when you really look at it. A great deal of what Mormons believe about the temple, about priesthood authority, about women, about marriage, about men becoming gods, none of that's in the Book of Mormon. So they've built on this with other books as well, Doug, and they've brought in other, what they call modern revelation.
Right. Does that help?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
Great, good. And if you want to understand a little bit more, again, on our website, we've got some good basic notes and more detailed information on Mormonism that you can check up there. You can find all sorts of things on there. So do visit our website if you need more information.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bless you, Susan.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye now. Mike, let's pick it up. You came out then, and obviously your first experience of church was great that day.
Yeah.
As you developed, was it easy to move from the Mormon church into the Christian church? And do you feel, I mean, I think one or two callers have hinted at it. Is there a need for churches sometimes to understand where cult members have come from and help them? And are there some problems there that,
Yes, most definitely there's a need for understanding here. Our transition from Mormonism into a Christian church, it wasn't easy. If you've been a Mormon for any length of time and it's meant something to you, there are all sorts of things going on in your head. You're asking questions. Sometimes people don't understand your questions, and that's quite easy to understand because they've never heard some of these strange ideas before. But Christians need to be patient. I know a lady who became a Christian after being in a church for 2.5 years. She'd been involved with the Mormons, and then she'd gone to this church, and she'd gone in touch with Reach Out Trust, and we met her and taught her and spoke to her. And it's only during the course of that conversation we discovered that although she'd been in this Christian church for 2.5 years, she actually wasn't a Christian. People had assumed that she was. And so she became a Christian during that conversation with us at Reach Out Trust.
Right.
And now she's going on with the Lord and she's doing very well. But you see, a church had just let her fall through the net because it didn't understand that she'd come from this background, and that although she sounded Christian, and certainly she embraced a lot of Christian ideas now, being in a Christian church, she'd never actually made that commitment. So churches need to understand where Mormons are coming from and need to be patient.
Right. And is this something that you, I mean, you obviously travel around quite a lot for Reach Out and get into a whole number of different churches. Is this something you feel that churches are willing to learn, or is it sometimes, no, it doesn't quite fit in with our program, therefore we're going to carry on the way we're carrying on?
Well, you know, in some churches there's a willingness, there's no doubt about that. But I can understand that it doesn't always fit in with the program. Pastors and church leaders are very, very busy people, and another piece of literature to read, another person coming along with another idea, another program, may not seem what they want.
Right.
But what they have to understand is this: the Mormons are knocking on the doors of your church members and their neighbors.
Yeah.
You don't, you know, when you talk about mission is something that happens out there somewhere for most Christians. You send somebody abroad, and they send you back the occasional photograph, and you put it up on the notice board, and you send them letters.
And you might pray for them.
And you might pray for them as well. But this is different.
Right.
They come to you.
Yeah.
And the Mormons and the Jehovah's Witnesses. I was down in Swansea this last week, and the Hare Krishna people are out there, and they're doing their business and their work. And it's right there on your doorstep. And it's not good enough to be ignorant or to say, I don't have enough time. And the other thing I would say is this: the number of people who've said to me over the years, well, you know, I was involved with Reach Out for a few years, but then I moved on. The Lord called me on. But you know, that time in Reach Out Trust was so precious to me because I learned things in looking at the cults about my own faith that I never knew before.
Right. Yeah, and this, of course, is something that I know you are willing to help churches with, and we appreciate pastors are busy, and we appreciate, but if we can come alongside and help just one or two others, we're glad to do it. And let's face it, we're not into building our own kingdom. It's God's kingdom wherever it is. Well,
that's right. And if a church wants us to come along, we will fit in with whatever program you have. We'll go away when you want us to go away. And at the end of the day, you know, we're only there to help you to do it.
Amen.
We're not there to do it for you.